You don't want to mention the strand?
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show on Hamilton Radio. Guys, everyone out there who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass because, guys, 30 years ago, I was a dumbass. Today, because of God's grace, I'm celebrating 30 years of being a smartass. How about that, guys? I am always there to help anyone out there in need, anyone, family members of addicts. I'm a nutritional health coach, a recovery coach. I will never charge you a penny. Get in touch with me, please. Don't suffer alone, okay? Having said that, guys, I want to introduce this legend sitting here with me who honored me today and everyone in Hamilton Radio for coming live in studio. The one and only Bobby Wilson. Hi.
A legend.
Give me a guess. Oh, how are you?
I think Jackie Wilson is the legend.
Listen, Jackie Wilson is the legend, but you're his son.
Yes.
Okay, so I hope my mic is good. You guys can hear me good? So before we get into your music and the interview, I want to introduce Doc G real quick because he's got to go. Doc G is the original owner of Hamilton Radio. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Look who we got. Look who Jerry got.
Doc G.
Bobby Wilson. We love him.
Okay, is this crazy?
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And then that's
Good to be
this is
here.
exactly why I developed the studio or made the studio because this is the events that we want to have.
Absolutely. Very
People
nice.
like this. Come
mean,
on,
come
it doesn't get any better
on.
than this, right?
It's a great
Oh my
opportunity
gosh.
being here in Jersey and New York. I love being here. Every time I come to New York, it's like I'm living again. So I love being here.
It's amazing, even though with all the stuff that's gone on, I'm a New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York, and
Yeah.
I went through it Sunday to be with family finally after 2 years, and it was amazing. I still get that, yes, amazing, good feeling.
Yeah, born in Westbury, but raised in South
Yeah, there you
Carolina.
go.
So, but I remember the first time I came to New York, very, very first time, I was working down in Atlantic City, and I remember having this weird feeling inside of me. But it's like I'm so excited and anxious, and I wanted to do everything and be everything. You know, the first time I came to New York is when I performed on Apollo.
That's too cool.
I never forget the feeling. I was like, what is this feeling that I have? And I never had a feeling like that again, except when I went to Maui. When I got off the plane in Maui, I felt that same kind of excitement.
Right,
You
right.
know, so love New York, love coming here, love performing here, love the people. And Jersey, of course, also Jersey.
Of course now, baby. This is so cool.
Philadelphia, you know, PA, I mean,
Yes.
all over, you know, this area is just phenomenal.
I can't believe
And they
it's
love the
here.
music, they appreciate the music. The music never dies here.
You know, I don't think the music really dies anywhere.
It does.
It
It
does?
does. Not in Europe. It doesn't die in
'cause
Europe
I have
at
my
all.
friends in Europe that are sharing this all over.
No, it doesn't die in Europe at all.
Okay.
Anytime,
Where is it dying, do you think?
maybe just the suburbs and some of the hot spots around America. You know.
Okay.
I think with YouTube and Facebook and all the social media, it's making a comeback.
Yeah, okay.
You know, because I noticed these guys on YouTube that
Okay.
played Jackie Wilson music for the first time and their reactions. I don't know if you've seen that. And so they're turning on the young generation to early rock and roll and early R&B, Jackie Wilson, Little Richard, all those people that the kids never, probably most of them never heard of.
But they love it.
They love it, yep, because I get it every show. I always get, I don't know, third, fourth, fifth generation kids coming up and saying, "Oh, I love Jackie Wilson." I'm like, "How old are you?" "I'm 11.
That is so cool.
It's great.
That is cool.
And I watch your videos all the time. And one lady brought her son to one of the shows we did in New York. And her son was 6 years old and he had on a nice suit. And she says, "My son is a big fan of yours." And I said, "Of me?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "How is he a fan of mine?" She said, he watches your videos all the time and he plays drums behind it. So I posted him on Facebook. He plays drums at 6 years old. Guess who else played drums that I knew at 6 years old?
Oh, wait, Bruno?
Bruno Mars.
There you go, baby.
So when I saw him and and I saw his video, I said, "Wow." I said, "You remind me of a good friend of mine who's now a superstar." And I said, "So keep playing your drums."
That's
And the kid has it in him. I mean, at 6 years old, he's dressed into the nines, like he's ready to walk on stage, and he came to the show. And he was so afraid of me. I mean, he was so scared when the mother brought me up to him, and I said, "No, don't be afraid of me." I said, "I'm afraid of you. 'Cause
Yes.
you're going to be a superstar." That's what I told him. So I'm
And he
looking
was
forward.
9.
6.
Oh, he was 6.
He was 6 years old.
Okay, the drummer boy is 9.
The drummer was 6.
Oh, the drummer was 6.
The drummer was 6 years old. The little kid was a little drummer. And he's playing James Brown and everybody
So crazy.
at 6 years old. And his mother said he's a fan of yours. But that's not the first time I heard that. I've had other family members reach out and say, my kids play your video all the time. And I was like, "Really?" It's a surprise to me.
Isn't that beautiful,
Yeah,
though?
it's a surprise to me. But my goal has always been, since I learned who Jackie Wilson was, is to keep his music in the mainstream, to spread it to as many people that who has never seen it, and those who've seen him. I hope that I somewhat reminded them of him, and so far that's what's happened. When people see me, when I walk out on stage, you can hear them go
Yes.
throughout the whole audience.
Well,
and
We're
so-
gonna talk about all that with your dad and everything. The woman who did that,
Nice to meet you.
Doc G, thank you, baby. The woman who did that yesterday, who's here now, she went when I gave her your video. Okay, Cindy from the Strand. Cindy, say hello to everyone and promote the Strand.
Hi, everybody, and hi, what a thrill it is to be sitting here with the two of you. I am the bar manager from the Strand Theater in Lakewood, New Jersey. We are almost 100 years old next year. Every star that has ever walked the face of the earth has been at our theater. And we put on tribute shows, we put on performing arts shows, community theater. We are just a performing arts center, and it's gorgeous, it's historic, when you walk in the theater, you walk back in time. It's just
right.
beautiful.
That's awesome.
And we just reopened Saturday night. We
Another
had the best of
Saturday
the
night.
Eagles, yes, and it was just, everybody was so happy to be back. And we have a room where our bar is called the Gallery.
Yep.
And that's my domain. And it's a smaller room, but it has a stage. It has the beautiful bar, which is a replica of the bar from The Shining. And we put on smaller shows there. And it's just the whole theater. When you walk through those doors, you're walking through a time capsule. It's beautiful. And we have a lot of things coming up. Go to the strand.org and go on our website, see all the things that we have coming up. And,
Nice.
Well, Sin, I love you, man.
well, I
you
love
know
you
that.
too. And I'd love to have
There you
you.
go.
And I will move heaven and
We're
earth to
on
make
our
that
way.
happen.
We're on our way.
Okay.
We're coming to the Strand.
I
No
hope
doubt.
Thank
so.
you,
I hope so.
sweetheart.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Cindy
you.
from the Strand, baby.
Cindy from the Strand.
So, you know what I think we should do? We should play one of your songs first,
Awesome.
because we want everyone to hear what's happening and with your voice, and then we'll get into the story a little bit as well.
Okay, sounds good.
So, Ruben, you want to hit us with a track?
Girl, I didn't mean to make you cry. when you asked if I would ever say goodbye. Last thing I wanted was to hurt you bad. Please don't be sad over what we had. I tried to tell you every time we touched. It's time you knew the truth about us. I can't love you any more than I do right now. Baby, there's no doubt. There is no room. Baby, my heart is full. You fill my soul. I'm sure I can't love you anymore. Girl, you couldn't lose me if you tried. I would spend my life right here by your side. So dry those teardrops running down your face. This is your place, that'll never change. If you have questions on your mind, listen up, girl, don't waste your time. I can't love you any more than I do right now. Baby, there's no doubt, no, there is no room. Baby, my heart is full. You fill my soul. I'm sure I can't love you anymore. My actions speak 1,000 words. Let me hold you if you haven't heard. I can't love you any more than I do right now. Baby, there's no doubt. There is no room. Baby, my heart is full. You feel my soul. Well, I can't love you any more than I do right now. Baby, there's no doubt. Well, there is no room. Baby, my heart is full. I can't love you anymore.
So
That was nice.
that was amazing. That was amazing.
Yep.
You know, everybody wants to know your story.
Well, it's online.
It's online, but we're going to just talk a few minutes about it.
Okay.
So I know you didn't know your dad, and you
No.
didn't know you were adopted. But I mean, you knew you were adopted, but you
I didn't know I was
Oh,
adopted.
you didn't.
I
That's
wasn't
right.
adopted. I was placed in the foster home.
Okay.
No, I didn't know I was placed in the foster home until I was probably about 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, my mother who raised me was from Cordia, Georgia, and she raised over 400 kids in the foster care community in South Carolina. And she said she thinks she got me about 6 months old. And I had a lot of different ailments. I had rickets at the bones, and I had underdeveloped lungs, underdeveloped intestines, and I was in and out of the hospital till I was 15 or 16. So when I was going through that period of my life, it's kind of gray because I didn't. I remember sitting on the couch listening to the early rock and roll soul music, and I would listen to my sister, my mom's only daughter, Ann, would play all the big records because she had the only hi-fi stereo system in our neighborhood, and we had the only color TV in our neighborhood too at the time. So actually, the only TV. So all the kids would come over to watch TV. All the kids would come over to dance to the 45s that she had, and she would play all the greats, you know, Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and Al Green and Johnny Taylor and, I mean, Bobby Blue Bland. And, I mean, everybody, you can name it. My sister was blasting the music. So I remember, because I couldn't play and I couldn't walk, 'cause my legs were, I had rickets at the bones and my feet were pointed in. So I would just sit on the couch with my little, I must have been, I had a little cup with a little sip, that I would sip orange juice. So I remember that. So I would rock to the music, not knowing that the music was really inside of me. I didn't know that. So, so my sister, I credit her with putting that music in me, because she used to play that music. Especially my mother, not only was she raising all of us, but she was very involved in our church. Sundays. She was the Sunday school, the church secretary. Okay. And so she's also was a union secretary for all the choirs in Columbia. So she was always busy, always going to church. And she didn't let us go to church until we were 9. Okay. She didn't believe in us coming before we was old enough to understand it. Okay. So she would make my big sister babysitters. So she had like 10 or 12 kids all the time in the foster home, taking care of us while mom goes out and do her thing. Then when I got old enough, that's when I really got into music, because the first time I heard gospel singers was in the church with no music. They just stomp their feet and sing to the beat. And I remember going, wow, this sounds so good, because all the harmonies were natural. People would just jump in singing the harmonies. One guy started off, and I remember my eyes going like, wow, I want to do this, I want to sing. And my mom told me, oh, you have to join the church to sing. You can't just go join the choir. So I joined the church at 9 years old.
Okay, yeah.
She wouldn't let me just join the church. She wouldn't let me just sing. But by that time, they'd broken my legs and straightened my legs. I wore casts for like 2 years from the waist down. And then after they took the casts off, I was on the Forrest Gump contraption. When I saw that movie, that took me back to my childhood. Because I used to run with those doggone, whatever you call it, the bracelets on, and I had the weighted shoes. Yeah, it's funny. It's run, Forrest, run. That was me. I got a whole lot of stories for when I was going to school. But I went to, all black school. And you would think there would be no prejudice in the all black school. Wrong. You got the dark skinned people against the light-skinned people.
That's craziness to me.
That's the way it was. So I was always fighting. I learned how to fight. But my childhood, people think it was rough, but I don't think it was rough. I think that was just my life, and I accepted it as it was. My foster mother used to preach to us all the time, and trust me, preaching. She would make sure we knew how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of ourselves. She was like, you're not going to... She said, I don't want you guys depending on no man or no woman. And so by the time I was 8 years old, I can cook and clean just like any housewife.
Love it.
It did help me as an adult.
I love it.
It did. I mean, it totally did. And, I learned a lot of good things being raised in the foster home. So she would have what they call Friday night fish fries. You ever heard of that? Friday night fish fries?
In New York, they always have them.
Well, she would have the Friday night fish fries, and people would come over to the house, and I never thought we were poor or lived in the ghetto or anything like that.
We didn't either.
So these people come over, they play cards, they fry fish, they cuss and fuss, they dance, and I guess I used to entertain, because she would always point a finger in my face like, yeah, tonight is my show, not your show. And I'm like, what show is she talking about? She's a crazy old lady. Ba-da-da-da-da. As soon as I hear the doorbell. I hear the doorbell, ding dong, ba-da-da-da-da. I'm on. Apparently I was on. So we had a basement in the house. So when she had the Friday night fish fries, she'd tell all the kids, go in the basement. That's where you sleep for the night, because the party's going to last. But I would climb up from the basement and sit at the top of the stairs and watch everything. And a lot of times I would wind up in my bed, and I was like, I don't know how I got there. She picked me up in bed. She knew I was watching the parties. No matter how many times she told me, don't watch, because they were playing blue comedy. So I heard Red Fox, and I heard some other ones. Red Fox was pretty nasty dude. I don't know if you ever heard his comedy.
Of course. Are you kidding me? Red Fox. We grew up
my
with
God,
that.
he was disgusting.
gosh.
They think Richard Pryor was bad.
No.
Richard Pryor was not half as bad as Red Fox. Oh my God! And I heard Red Fox, and I heard a couple others, but I don't remember their names. But so I grew up with that in me. So I grew up with the music in me, not knowing it. But what really made me interested in music, and now I'm dating myself, is when the Jackson 5 came on. I was outside playing, you know, when kids used to go outside and play. So we were outside playing, and my sister yelled out, "Bobby, come here, come here." You know, we're outside. I was like, "What she want?" You know, because we were outside building a clubhouse is what we were doing. So I run in the house, and there was American Bandstand and these 5 black kids
Yep.
singing ABC.
I remember it. So I'm dating myself too.
Oh,
man.
my
That's
God.
amazing.
My eyes, and I don't know why she called me, but she said, "You got to see this." And I'm sitting there, and
Amazing.
my eyes got like, and I was like, "I can do that. I can do that." I remember thinking, I can do what they're doing. And Michael Jackson, of course, of all of them impressed me so much. I went outside and set up 4 chairs and put brooms on each chair and a mop. And I said, "Okay, you're my Jackson 5, I'm Michael."
Oh my gosh, this is so great.
And started doing Michael and charging the kids 2 pennies to see me.
I love this.
I didn't know I was a big entrepreneur. I just said, "Okay, it's 2 cents. 2 cents to see me do the Jacksons," you know.
This is so great.
And the kids said, "We're not paying you 2 cents." I said, "You're not going to see me do the Jacksons." And they said, "Can he do it?" "Yeah, he can do it." And my voice was really high.
I
when
want
was
to
a
know,
kid.
did you get the 2 cents?
Yeah.
I can't, baby.
Till my mom stopped me. "You're not charging nobody," you know. You know. So who do you think you are? You know. I said, "Well, you know, they don't do it for free," you know, which they don't.
that's so
but
great.
I didn't know. I was just they impressed me so much. So then, of course, I was an instant Jackson fan.
Okay.
You know, the Jacksons. It wasn't Michael Jackson. It was the Jacksons, and watched them. You know, my whole childhood growing up, and watched
Jackson
Michael.
5.
Yeah, I watched them and watched the TV show and the cartoon show. And,
That's right.
and then that's when I got hooked in TV shows like Tom Jones Show and Glenn Campbell Show.
Yep.
"Hello, everybody. I'm Glenn Campbell."
Yep.
I mean, I would mimic him all day. I'd walk around the house. "Hello, everybody. I'm Glenn Campbell." My mom's like, "Shut up," you know. And Mac Davis, Carol Burnett, Flip Wilson, all of those shows.
I love Flip Wilson.
Yeah.
But wait,
Yeah.
there was a part of me that was really mad at Flip Wilson. Okay, because, well, who did he play? What was the female?
Geraldine.
Okay, so my name, I hate it, is Geraldine.
Oh, no.
I changed it to Jerry. So here I am in, like, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. It didn't stop. Even in 9th, I got a little bit of it. They would be yelling down the halls, "Geraldine! And I'm like, oh, my God, my mother hated me. Okay, but I did like Flip Wilson, but, you know.
Yeah, that's
now I
funny.
get a little warm and fuzzy feeling with it, but, you know.
Yeah. I remember Geraldine. I used to
Okay.
love Geraldine.
No.
"Killer's coming."
Yeah.
I used to love that. And I was hooked. The kids would be outside playing. Ed Sullivan's show would come on, and Lawrence Welk show, and all these shows
Yes.
would come on. I'll stay there,
Us too.
wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, just
Us
locked
too.
in on. And she's like, "Get outside and go play." I'm like, "I want to watch this." And she goes, "You really want to watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I watch it. Tom Jones mesmerized me.
Forget it.
Tom Jones had his shirt open,
Forget it.
and he had the big medallion
did.
on his thing. I used to love Tom Jones. And I'd be at the head, "Not unusual to be loved by anyone." And then I was running around the house going, "What's new, pussycat?" And yeah. No, I got slapped every time I said it. And she's like, "Shut up and go to your room," you know. So you can't say that in this house. I'm like, but Tom Jones did. Yeah. You ain't Tom Jones. You know. But no, those shows really influenced me. And I remember, not name dropping, but I met Wayne Brady before he became a star.
You can name drop on this show.
No, but we were working for a lady named Anita Mann in Hawaii. I was also working for Legends and Concert Show in Hawaii. But Wayne was the lead guy for that show called Blast from the Past. Okay. And he and I got together and became good friends, and we would talk about the variety shows. Because he was like, "Man, we got to bring back the variety shows." That was our mission. We're going to bring back. We started talking about going together and auditioning for Saturday Night Live. And I said, "Man, if you're going to go, I'll go with you. Let's go and just cold audition." Because Wayne was great at improvisation. I was brand new at it, but I liked it because I love improv. But I remember we was talking over and over and over again, and then Legends sent me to Atlantic City, which that's the beginning of my life changing. So Paul Revere of Paul Revere and the Raiders said, "Hey, buddy, I want to send you to Atlantic City because Jackie Wilson was king. But you're going to go and do Jackie Wilson and Stevie Wonder in the show." I'm like, why I got to do 2? He says, that's what they want. So I opened the show as Stevie Wonder, and then I would come back later as Jackie Wilson. And it made me.
But wait, you share with everyone how you found out.
Because of the Four Tops.
That's right.
Yeah,
Levi Stubbs. I hung out with them in the 80s. They were friends of mine.
Oh, right on.
Yes.
Levi,
so I love this
Lawrence,
story. So tell
yeah,
everyone. Yep.
Levi, Lawrence, Obie, and Duke.
Yep.
And I was working in Atlantic City at Bally's Park Place and doing the show, and I didn't know they were there. They were doing corporate gigs, and nobody knew they were there. And I guess they were coming in. We did matinee show and we did the late night show. I guess they were coming in and watching the show because they said, hey, we got a Jackie Wilson in the show. They said, well, let's see who this is, you know. So they came and watched the show, and I didn't know they were watching. And they came up to Jim Escher. He was the entertainment director at the time, and said, Jim, we want to meet the kid. And Jim says, oh, you like his Jackie Wilson? They say, it's not that we like his Jackie Wilson. It's like he never turns it off. He says, what do you mean? He never turns it off. He says, he's Jackie Wilson 24/7. He says, we watched him down in the chow hall. We watched him talking to other people. We listen to him when he's laughing. It's like he's being Jackie Wilson intentionally 24/7. So Jim Escher asked me, hey, do you know the Four Tops? I said, no, I love them. He said, good, they know you. Come on up. And he took me up to them in the hotel. I didn't know they were in there. I was tripping. And when I walked in, there they are, you know, all 4 of them, Lawrence and Levi and all of them. And so Levi was the first one that says, you got to get up early in the morning to be even close to Jackie Wilson. How do you do it? I said, how do I do what? And then Lawrence looked at me and said, are you being Bobby or are you being Jackie right now? I said, I'm being Bobby. How would I know how Jackie is? I said, there's no video on him. There's nothing that I can study him. There's nothing. I mean, at the time, there was no YouTube.
Right.
And Paul Revere was friends with Dick Clark. Dick Clark had a bunch of video on Jackie. And Paul Revere asked Dick when I was starting out, can you give us a couple of videos so Bobby can study Jackie because he's going to be my Jackie? And Dick Clark said no. He told Paul no. No, nobody gets into that video. That's my video. And Paul was like, he said, I can't believe he said no to me. Paul Revere, he's big personality. I can't believe it. He said no to me, like that. But he didn't give us the video. So Paul told me, he said, you don't know it. Just be the best you can be, and you're Jackie. He said, you're naturally Jackie, and you don't know it. He goes, I knew the guy. I hung out with the guy. I talked to the guy. He said, hell, you even laugh like the guy. And I was like, okay, so I just did the best me. When I was doing Jackie Wilson in Hawaii and when I came here to Atlantic City, I was just doing me. I was doing my dances because I'd never seen Jackie dance. I was doing my splits.
Isn't this crazy?
I was doing the whole 9 yards. And then when they put me on Apollo, that's when my little brother, Thor, and his family reached out to me through Billy Roquel Davis. Billy Roquel Davis was my dad's first cousin. He co-wrote all the songs, Lonely Teardrops, To Be Loved. He co-wrote That's Why I Love You So, Talk That Talk. All those early songs with Berry Gordy and Billy. So Billy actually, I guess one of the Four Tops called Billy and said, you got to go see this kid. And Billy told me, he says, I don't want to go see anybody impersonating Jackie Wilson. That's an insult to me. And nobody ever going to be like Jackie Wilson. He said, Lawrence Payton says, Billy, I wouldn't waste your time.
Okay.
Go see this guy. Now, Billy was a big-time guy. Billy did over 20,000 commercials in the commercial industry with a lady named Linda November.
Okay.
She was the voice for all those commercials. Meow, 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 meow.
Oh, my gosh.
So Billy wrote all those commercials, and
so
Linda November sang them all. And I met her in Vegas. But Billy was like a monster in the business as a publicist, as a writer, as a songwriter. And he had all the big songwriters like Otis Williams and Rosemarie McCoy. All of them were on his publication company. So Billy was a very important man. And when Lawrence talked him to come see me, he says, I don't have time. We're working on projects. Him and Isaac Hayes did a lot of projects together. See,
Yeah, right.
I'm not name dropping. This is just what happened.
I want you to.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This is so. So when I'm doing my show as normal, and then the maitre d' comes back in the back, say, hey, some guy named Billy Davis want to talk to you. You know Billy Davis? I said, I know two Billy Davises. I said, never met him. One is a guitar player from Detroit. The other one is a publisher and a writer. Which one is it? She goes, I don't know, but he wants to see you. Can he come back? I said, yeah, of course. And he came back, and I looked at him. I didn't know who he was, but he says, do you know who I am? I said, I know you're Billy Davis. He goes, yeah. I said, but which one, the publisher or the guitar player? He says, I'm the publisher. And I went, you're a bad mofo, like that. And he laughed, and he said, he just, he started asking me a million questions. He said, hey, let's go out to dinner. He says, I'm very impressed. He says, no, the word was, I'm flabbergasted.
Okay.
I say, flabbergasted? I never even heard that word before. He said, I'm flabbergasted. He says, you have piqued my interest. Can we meet later? I said, sure. I knew who he was. I knew how important he was. Donny Hathaway wouldn't have.
Oh, Donny Hathaway.
He wouldn't have been discovered if it wasn't for Billy. He produced it and discovered Donny's first album. He put it together. So this guy he was a monster in the business. Of course, Aretha Franklin and him was close. So Billy, he and I started talking on the phone, and then I started going up to his publishing company, which was Chevis Publishing in New York, and spending the day or the weekend up at his publishing company, learning the business and listening to stories and listening to different things about Jackie Wilson, and that's how he introduced me to Thor. And when I met Thor, which is the baby boy in the family, we became instantly connected from the first time I met him. And so that I'm going all the way back to 2000, 2001.
Okay.
And from there, everything progressed to where it is today. I lost my brother 3 years ago,
Sorry.
October of 2018. So I think he was 46 years old. So I wear this hammer in his memory.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, because one thing he did not want me to do is to stop promoting Dad. That's one thing he wanted more than anything else. So I'm going to keep promoting them as long as I can, and I'm going to keep performing. And God has blessed me and opened doors for me to be my own performer, which because I remember back in Hawaii when I was trying to get out of doing impersonations before Jackie Wilson came together. I used to ask God, why Jackie Wilson? Because I started selling Kirby vacuum cleaners because I wanted out of the show business. I wanted to rebrand myself.
Honey, you knocked on my door with a Kirby, I would have bought it.
Yeah, so I was selling Kirby vacuum cleaners, and I was there for about a year and a half doing it. And I get a call from one of the producers on the island, said, hey, we opened a new show, and we want you, and we want Bruno, and we want his mother, Bernie, and blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, I'm not in show business. And the guy went, yes, you are.
This is so cool.
Just report to rehearsals at the Beachcomber at Monday at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, I can't believe this. And I went to the rehearsals, and Bruno was then 15 years old. And I hadn't seen him in like 5 or 6 years. I think I split from them when he was 11. I met him when he was 6,
Okay.
worked till he was 11, then I split, did my own thing, and then about 16 or 17 we joined back up. Did this show called Aloha Las Vegas. And I was hosting the show and of course playing Jackie, Johnny Mathis, and Stevie. Bruno was doing Michael Jackson, then we had a guy doing Elvis, and we had another guy doing, then his mother was doing Tina Turner and Whitney. And we had a girl doing Celine. That was the show. We did that show for 2 years. And that's and the name of the show was Aloha Las Vegas. And I was wondering, why Las Vegas? As soon as the show was over, I moved to Las Vegas.
Okay, imagine that.
That's crazy.
Bruno Mars, if you're going to listen, baby, I want you. So wait, Elvis, you mentioned Elvis because we got to give Elvis a shout out because he loved your dad.
Yeah, I learned later that Elvis and Jackie was really, really close. They had a brothership, a kinship that went beyond ages. According to the stories and some of the Elvis people I met, they met the first time around 1954, 55 in Vegas. Elvis was at the New Frontier. Jackie was with the Billy Ward's Dominoes playing at Sahara at the Casbah Lounge, which is still available. Anyway, they said Elvis got fired because he was shaking too much.
So great.
At the Frontier. After 2 weeks, he had a 10-week engagement, and 2 weeks into it, he got fired because the people just wasn't handling him shaking his booty. And so he went over to see Billy Ward's Dominoes, and that's where he saw Jackie and fell in love with him. He
Yes, he did.
He said Jackie was singing his songs. They were doing an Elvis Presley set. In those days, the Dominoes had to do 5 sets. So they would do 5 45-minute sets.
For real? Wait.
Yeah.
In one show?
That is one show. That's one night of shows. But they do 5 45-minute sets. And so Elvis would go and watch. But that not only was Domino's, everybody that went into a lounge, they had to do 5 45-minute sets. That was normal. So that was normal. So anyway, when they did the Elvis set, Elvis said he climbed under the table and yelled, "Get him off! Get him off!" He said they were so good at doing him.
That's so great.
Yeah. But then they didn't really, from what I understand, they didn't really connect till in the 60s when they went to L.A., when Elvis moved to L.A., because Jackie was performing at the Trip in L.A., and Elvis was doing the movies. So he went to see Jackie, and when he went to see Jackie, it packed the place. People didn't know who Jackie was in L.A. for whatever reason, or they weren't going to see him, because his first show was a flop. He opened up at the Trip, and nobody showed up. So the word got around real fast, and then Elvis goes, "What do you mean nobody showed up?" So Elvis said, they said Elvis got on the phone. I tell you who told me, little Anthony said Elvis would call them and say, "Hey, we're going to see Jackie." Okay. So they'll go with him. You know, "Hey, we're going to see Jackie. We're going to go see Jackie." I said, "Okay." And so all these different groups would show up besides Elvis and his entourage. And, of course, Jackie packed the place, and he never had problems with that ever since. And I got a great story about North Beach leather outfits. Elvis started wearing these North Beach leather outfits.
Heck
Do you know what I'm talking about? So I was told originally by an Elvis impersonator that, you know, Elvis turned Jackie Wilson onto these leather
I bet it was
two-piece.
the opposite.
It was the opposite.
I knew it. No, but I knew it.
It was the opposite.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I ran into the people that own the company.
That's so cool.
I was in Canada doing the show, and the lady came up to, I went into this North Beach leather store in Windsor, Canada, at the casino we was at. And I said, "I can't believe they still have North Beach leather." And the lady looked at me and she goes, "Jackie Wilson?" And I said, "That's my dad." And she goes, "Oh my God, we sold Jackie Wilson these suits and blah, blah, blah." I said, "Oh, you knew him?" She goes, "I knew him. Yes, I knew him. I used to measure him. I used to do his suits." And she says, "And he brought Elvis to us."
Okay, I knew
And
it.
I tripped out. I said, "What do you mean?" I thought Elvis did. No. Elvis saw his suits and fell in love with his suits. And Jackie said, "I'll do you one better," and took him to L.A., into one of the stores in L.A., and introduced him to the people.
So I'm going to share it with everyone how I knew that.
Okay.
The Four Tops. Okay, they knew it as well. Okay? They shared something with me about it. They didn't go into detail. They didn't know for sure, but they thought that. And all these years, I've been like saying to some of my Elvis buddies, "But this is what and they're like, "I don't know." And I'm like, why would they say that to me? Why would they say that to me?
I got it straight from North Beach leather.
There you go.
Yeah, they said no, Jackie Wilson and his wife
I'm
at
like,
the
my
time.
heart is going like this because now I feel so good about
Yeah,
that.
they say, and his wife at the time, Lynn, came in for Jackie saw the outfit somewhere and he wanted an outfit made. He made 2 or 3 of them, and then the next time they saw him, he brought Elvis with him, and then Elvis started making his suits. Now, it's a picture of Elvis, Jackie Wilson, and Lynn on the internet, and in that picture it said the outfit that Jackie was wearing, Elvis gifted to him. So when he had a couple suits made, he said, "Make Jackie a suit too." So a couple of Jackie's suits were duplicates of Elvis when Elvis was getting them made.
Amazing.
So that's probably where the confusion
Okay,
got in. because Elvis did make him a couple suits, or gifted him a couple suits
Okay.
when he got his suits made.
Okay, then
So,
that's why.
and that's
okay.
why it got
Okay,
mixed
but now
up.
we know the truth.
But the truth is, Jackie brought
Yes.
Elvis into that.
Jackie
store.
was cool too,
Yeah, yeah,
baby.
they loved each other. They were brothers. And I read in the book, Jackie Wilson, the Man, the Mob, the Music. Like all my stories about Jackie Wilson, of course, are secondhand stories. But I read that he would carry a suitcase, and in the suitcase is a picture of him and Elvis.
I know. I read
So
that
he loved
too.
Elvis, yeah.
Listen, yes, and
Yeah.
they loved each other.
That book that's out, Jackie Wilson, the Man, the Mob, the Music, by Tony Douglas, very detailed book. Bunch of interviews, people telling their versions of Jackie. You know, whether it's true or not, who knows? But
Right.
yeah, but you know, everybody has their own version, just like everybody have their own version of Jesus Christ. So it just keeps. It's just stories that's passed on and passed on and passed on. You know.
But listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy you shared that because now I feel like really like happy about that.
Oh, they were very, very close, and
Yep.
so when I do a show, I do give tribute to Elvis because I know how important he was to Jackie,
There you go.
and I do sort of a montage of pictures of Jackie, and then I always include a picture of him and Elvis.
So beautiful.
And on the picture is written to my brother, the Black Elvis.
Oh, so beautiful.
That's written by
Okay.
Elvis' handwriting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
so-
beautiful.
yeah.
Let's play another track.
Yeah.
Come on, Ruben.
What we got?
Hit us with another track, baby. Oh,
This was my first one that was released.
The closer you get, the better you look, baby. The better you look, the more I want you. When you turn on your smile, I feel my heart go wild. I'm like a child with a brand new toy, and I get the honey, the sweetest, baby, the sweetest, loving you. The warmer your kiss, the deeper you touch me, baby. The deeper your touch, the more you thrill me. It's more than I can stand. Girl, when you hold my hand, I feel so grand that I could cry. And I get the mama, the sweetest, baby, the sweetest, loving you, yeah. The greater your love, the stronger you hold me, baby. The stronger your hold, the more I need you. With every passing day, I love you more in every way. I'm in love to stay. I wanna say that I get the honey, the sweetest, baby, the sweetest, loving you. Baby, the sweetest, honey, the sweetest, baby, the sweetest, baby, the sweetest.
Sweetest Feelings. I was recording with my then manager and producer, Tony Mantor, out of Nashville, Tennessee. We did that whole album, It's About Time. That first song was released Sweetest Feelings. And I remember when we was recording, I said, Tony, I don't want to sound like Jackie Wilson. I want to sound like Bobby.
Okay.
So let's find Bobby's sound.
Got
And he
it.
said, okay, no problem. So we get in the studio and we work out all 12 of these songs. And this Sweetest Feelings was the first one we released. So when he finally sent it to me after they did the master mix, when I first heard it, I went, I thought we was going to try not to sound like Jackie Wilson.
Oh my gosh, impossible.
And he goes, Bobby, this is your sound.
This
you
is
can't get away from it.
impossible. Right.
So I have a mentor. I have a lot of mentors that have come in my life. One of them is Sonny Turner. Sonny is the second lead singer of the world famous Platters. He replaced Tony Williams. Sonny lives in Vegas, and I sent the song to Sonny. I said, Sonny, what do you think? Sonny laughed. He said, boy, you can't get away from that song if you wanted to. That's one. Two, he says, we were offered this song first, Buck Ram Platters. We were offered this song first, but Buck Ram turned it down. And then Jackie recorded it. He says, but then when I left the Platters, I recorded it. So Sonny Turner recorded that song, and it was a hit for him.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
You can't not sound like your dad. Sorry.
Well, on some songs I don't, but
Okay.
but that one,
Yeah, but you know what? Not to us, and I'm going to tell you why. Because as soon as we see you,
Mm-hmm.
you could sing anything, and even if you try to not sound like your dad, we already hear your dad.
yeah,
So it doesn't matter.
yeah, I get
And
that a
that's
lot.
the truth.
Yeah, and the first time I heard it on the radio, I was in South Carolina visiting my foster mother. She was in her dying days, and I went to the gas station to get gas, and I'm waiting in line, and I hear, ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Wilson's son, Bobby. Dun, dun, dun. And I went, what the hell is going on here? And they played the song, and my girl, she was like, oh my God, that's you. And I was like, so it's the first time I ever heard myself on the radio.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And so we get to the cash register, and everybody in the store wants my autograph. That's you? I'm like, yeah. And it was weird because they were like, can you sign this? Can you sign this? I said, you don't even know the song. Don't matter. Sign this. They had like trash bags, the bags with the grocery in it. And I'm like, I don't have a pen. And all of a sudden the pen came up. So I'm signing bags. It was funny.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny, but it was a great feeling to hear yourself on the radio for the first time. Yeah.
So, Ruben, hit us with another one, baby.
Surprised me.
Yeah.
This song turned out to be number one in 2015.
Happens every time I look into your eyes. I can almost see inside your heart. How can I explain when time and time again it starts? It only happens when I look at you. It only happens when I look at you. I wonder if you know the things I'm going through. Can't you see my life depends on you? I get smarter every day. Believe me when I say it's true, baby. Yeah, it only happens when I look at you. It only happens, hey baby, when I look at you. Wonder if you feel the same way too. No matter what you say, I'll get to you someday. It's true, baby. Yeah. It only happens when I look at you. It only happens, hey baby, when I look at you. It only happens when I look at you. It only happens, hey baby, when I look at you. It only happens, baby. Oh yeah. When I look at you, baby. Only you. Oh, I love to look at you, baby. Yeah.
Every day, baby. I love that song. That song we recorded in the studio. The guitarist was Tom Wilde. Tom Wilde is B.J. Thomas' guitar player.
Oh my God.
And we were in Nashville, and my father recorded it. Was fast. Bum, 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 doo, ooh. It was real fast, and it was used in the circuit, the beach music. They call it beach music. But I heard that line. I heard the bass line in my head when I was in the studio. Boo, doo, so I heard that while we was working on it, and at the beginning they was going to do it fast. I said, wait a minute, I hear another groove, and the bass player said, well, what do you hear? And his name was Steve Warner, and I said, I hear the bass dragging and leading the song. So they said, sing it. So I did. Boom, 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 ba-da-da-da, boom, boom, boom. And I said, and everybody else fall in behind the bass instead of doing it fast. And so we did it that way. We recorded it that way. It turned out to be the #1 they call smooth jazz song in Las Vegas in
So
2015.
awesome.
I didn't even know it until the DJ reached out to me and said, Bobby, you know this song is #1 in Las Vegas right now. I said, what song? And he says, It Only Happens. And I just didn't know it. So when I do shows, people yell from the audience, are you going to do It Only Happens? Because it's sort of like an underground song now. I mean, a lot of people know it, even though it's not on the radio. I think it's fantastic. That's how God works,
right.
though.
No, that is how God works. That's
That's
a
how
really
God
cool little
works.
story there.
Yeah.
Okay, and you didn't even know it was #1 until they told
Somebody told me,
That's pretty
they reached
cool.
out to me and said, you know your song is #1.
you. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, no, how would I know that?
That is cool. Before we play the next song, the big one here, I just want to give a shout out, first of all, to Fire Team Designs.
Fire Team!
They did my T-shirts, my hats, guys, mugs, everything. I have a new product line out.
Right on.
And the reason why I love Fire Team, well, I'm going to share something silly first, is because the two sisters, okay, Andrea, listen to me, Andrea, I'm mentioning you first, okay? Petito. All right, but we're no relation. But the reason why I really want to give them a shout out is because Fire Team comes from being in the service, and the husbands are vets.
Oh, thank you for
So
your service.
I wanted to do that as well.
Do you know
So
which one?
Well, both husbands, Danielle.
Which one was in which service?
Oh, I did know that. Fire Team is from, Navy, maybe?
Navy.
Is Fire Team from Navy? I hope I got that right, but if you Google Fire Team, it'll tell you which service it is.
Oh, right on. I
So
will.
That's why they named it that, okay?
Well, I'm Navy too, so thank you for your service.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. But service, listen,
Yeah.
I love anyone who served for us, right? I
Right,
love you, man.
right.
And that book is for you.
Thank you. That's why I took it.
Yep, that book
Because
is for
I'm
you.
not going to leave it
And
here.
I love you.
I'm
So-
not leaving it here. Thank you. I love you
are not
too.
leaving it here, baby. All right, so Ruben, hit us with another one, baby. This is one of my faves. You know it is.
Oh, yeah.
Your love is lifting me higher.
Come on, baby.
than I ever been lifted before. Oh yeah, yeah. Your love lifted me higher than I ever been lifted before. Keep it up, quenching my desire. I'll be at your side forever. You know your love, it keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher.
I want to come back and do it special with you because
Oh yeah, keep on lifting me higher and higher. Once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and it soon departed. You know he never showed his face again. You know your love, it keeps on lifting me higher. You know your love, keep on running now. Keep on lifting me higher and higher. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad I finally found you. Yes, that one in a million, girl. I wanna wrap my loving arms around you. I can stand up, y'all, and face the world. You know your love, it keeps on lifting me higher. You know your love, oh, it keeps on lifting me higher. Yeah, it keeps on lifting me higher. Your love, oh, it keeps on lifting me higher. Oh, love, oh, it keeps on lifting me higher. You know your love, oh, it keeps on lifting me higher.
Amazing. But oh, Army. It's the Army. Thanks, Cindy. Army Fire Team Designs. So I just wanted to.
ground pounders.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, God bless them.
Yes, thank you to everyone for your service, for everything.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, Cindy's over there like going crazy, okay? Like she is on cloud nine, and she said this, and I'm going to share it. She came over here and said, other than her daughter's wedding, this is the next best day of her life.
That's awesome.
Right? Yes.
That's awesome, Cindy.
And so we're going to share something as well. Cindy and I were listening to this song a little differently now.
Which one?
Higher and Higher.
Okay.
We were trying to hear you versus your dad in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with what Cindy said to me. So she just kind of whispered to me, guys, and I agree with it 100%. It's you, but the undertones are your father.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll never get away from that, nor should you want to. And you're amazing, incredible, and the song was magnificent.
Thank you, thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Again, Tony at Tony Mantor over in Nashville. He's the one that produced me on this album, and we really had a lot of fun with it. So I can't wait to like I told you, I wish we had met you in the beginning, because we could have promoted the album with you when we released it. It would have been great.
He said he would have flown in.
I would have flown in for this.
Okay?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about that, baby? I
Yeah.
love you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so
Yeah,
honored.
that was back
Woo!
in 2012, 13. That was when we released that album. And so, yeah, new music is coming. I'll tell you about it when it drops. And so it's going to be different. It's going to be a little different. It's going to show another side of me. It's just another side of me.
Do you want to do, like, I don't care, 30 seconds of acapella for us? Come on.
I just did.
I know, but 30 seconds.
Of acapella. Which one?
I don't care.
Give me one.
Higher and higher.
Oh, we just heard how you
I know,
know.
but acapella.
Your love is lifting me higher than I ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quenching my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore.
Right here. Live. That's right, Cindy. On the Geri Petito
And
Show.
I'm not
Hamilton Radio.
warmed up, so
It doesn't
I might
matter.
have sounded like Smokey the Bear on that
Magnificent.
one.
Okay?
Oh, hey,
The
woo-woo-woo.
son. The
Boogie.
son of Jackie Wilson, Bobby Wilson, right here live for you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh. So now, tell everybody anything you want them to know about anything on becoming, maybe a website, whatever.
Okay, well, my websites are BobbyBrooksWilson.com, BobbyWilsonMusic.com. I'm on Instagram, IG, as they like to call it, at Bobby Wilson 22. Twitter is Bobby B. Wilson. So I'm easy to find. Just Google me. And we got shows coming up. Friday night, we're going to be at. I'm going to be with the group. Oh, geez, I just had it at the tip of my tongue. I'm going to tell you right now.
He's so busy, guys. He didn't even know where he was going to be the next night when I called him. And I understand that.
How do I make this thing bigger?
Yep, I understand that.
Okay, so what's Friday, right? So Friday I'm going to be with the Bronx Wanderers, and we are at St. Francis Preparatory in Queens. That is this Friday night.
Yep.
And then on Monday, it's Golden Oldies Night under the stars at the Woodbridge High School.
And that's where I'm working my way back to be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm working my way back to you, girl. Okay, and then, and I got one more show. I'm going to be in Atlantic City on the 25th at Caesars. And that's my Motown Years show. That will be at Caesars. Somebody's trying to call me. That'll be my Motown Years show Wednesday the 23rd. And then don't forget the one in Cleveland, which is on the 19th, outside Cleveland. It is the Mayor Summer Concert Series at Oakwood Village in Oakwood, Ohio. That show is an afternoon show, outside show. And hopefully we have great weather so we can just give you all the great songs. We're going to do it all. We're going to do about an hour 15. So I'm looking forward to it. And that's the tour, and then we'll come back and we'll be touring again in October. Okay. Yeah, the winter tour. Oh, boy.
Oh, gosh.
I hate snow.
So, Ruben, hit us with another track, baby. We ain't done.
We ain't done yet?
Nope. We'll do 2 more tracks.
Wop, bob, loo, bob.
This is crazy. Sin, isn't it amazing?
Yeah, we come back in October, yeah.
It's about time I see the one who cares for me. It's about time I see the one who loves me so. When the clouds are gone, the rain is done, can finally see you with open arms. It's about time. So I turn around, see you standing there. I finally figured out I have the friend. After all the running around, chasing dreams, look looking for greener grass, searching for green. It's about time I see the one who cares for me. It's about time I see the one who loves me so. When the clouds are gone, the rain is done, finally see you with open arms. It's about time. You watch me run in and out of walls. When I needed you, you caught my fall. Guess I never picked up all you had for me. Like the tears of a clown, your love subdued. I'm not saying you know everything, but you always known I needed you. I needed you. It's about time I see the one who cares for me. It's about time I see the one who loves me so. When the clouds are gone, the rain is done, I can finally see you with open arms. It's about time I see the one who cares for me. It's about time I see the one who loves me so. When the clouds are gone, the rain is done, finally see you with open arms. It's about time.
Are you kidding me?
That was a great song.
Tell us about it, baby.
I was just starting to songwrite after I met Billy Roquel Davis, and it was teaching me how to do it. And this song came to me in the middle of the night, and I never forget it because I heard Alan Jackson singing it. And the song was it was a country song, and I heard the choir. I was asleep in Hawaii, and I heard in the middle of the night, "It's about time." And I heard the country, "You see the one that cares for you." I mean, I heard it just as clear as a bell. And I was like, wow, that's a nice song. And then I heard the voice say, "Wake up and write it down." And I was like, no, I'm so tired. Wake up and write it down. Oh, I'm sleepy. Wake up and write it down. And I snapped out of it like, and then I wrote it down, everything I heard in my head. It's about time you see the one who cares for you. It's about time you recognize I love you so. Although the rain is gone, the clouds are done, you can finally see me. Found out I was here all alone. It's about time. All the words, everything, the whole song. I heard the orchestration. I heard the lines, the string lines. I heard the choir. And I sent the song to Billy, just me and my guitar. And Billy said, and Billy was a very hard, he's old school. So I sent a lot of songs to him before, and he has sent it back, said, "Tell me what's wrong with it," which I didn't know. But he was do that. This time, when I sent that song, he goes, "Who helped you with this?" I said, "Nobody. I got it in a dream." He says, "Perfect." Keep sending them. And he published that song for me.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Cindy, yell, do you love it?
And the other thing that came with, what I didn't tell you, the other thing that came with the dream, this was funny. I saw myself in a red jacket, no shirt, pompadour, my face to the side, and then at the top, "It's About Time," Bobby Wilson.
I love that.
That was 1997 when I saw that in my dream. But it said, "It's About Time," Bobby Wilson. And then there was the picture of me with my head turned aside with no shirt on. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And the pompadour. But then the music started, and I heard the whole song. And that's how the song came out.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
I had a voice also come to me, and this is a true story. In 2016, I got woken up like this, and I always say, God can't whisper to me. I'm not that personality.
You gotta yell.
He has to yell at me, and he does. And I heard, write your book.
Wow.
And I giggled, and I said, you want me to write the book? And I heard, write your book. And I said, all right.
Mm-hmm.
God wrote the book. But you're right. When we have to listen when we hear those voices.
Yeah,
There's always a reason.
and I remember I was fighting with it because I was sleepy. I was so comfortable in my bed. And I was like, but I'm tired. It's like, get up and write the song down. Just said it. Get up and write the song down. Get up and write the song
That's
down.
amazing.
So, and I did. And then I copied it, sent a cassette tape to New York. And the first question Billy asked me, which he never asked me questions. He does. He always go, what's wrong with it? And and I'd be like, I don't know. I just started writing. I don't know what's wrong with it. But this time he said, who helped you?
Because it was amazing.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with it.
It was
Not a
nothing wrong
speck.
with it. Yeah. And he said, I'm going to publish this one.
That's amazing.
And I shortly after that, I had wrote a couple other songs that got picked up by Columbia artists. So that was the beginning of my writing. Yeah.
So we have one more. Ruben, are we ready for the one more? Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes?
So I'm going to prep you on this one. This song we did, the last song I did with Plateau Music, I was doing all the oldie circuits, right? And I wanted to have a song of my own that sound like something from the 60s or the 50s. And a songwriter that was a friend of Tony's had this song that she wanted somebody to record. And they played it for me and said, what do you think about this song? And I went, wow, I love it. And when I was in the studio, a different voice came out of me. I wasn't trying to make a different voice come out. It's just the feeling of the song. So and Tony goes, I like that tone. Where did that come from? I'm like, I don't know. And I just sung the song as it was. And this is what we came up with. Bridges Are Burning.
Here we go, baby. Here we go, baby. How we doing?
Bridges are burning, they light up the sky, brighter than fireworks on the 4th of July. No matter how many teardrops I cry, I can't seem to make this fire die. Soft music playing, your hand was in mine. Thought we'll be together till the end of all time. The next thing I knew, all that love was a lie. When you dove into the river of desire, now bridges are burning out of control. What we might have had together, we'll never know. I gave you my body, my heart, and my soul. Memories, all I have of you to hold. Candles and romance, flowers and wine. Now you give to him what used to be mine. When he holds you close, do I cross your mind? What goes around comes around in time. Bridges are burning, they light up the sky, brighter than fireworks on the 4th of July. drops I cry. I can't seem to make this fire die. No, I can't seem to make this fire die.
So absolutely beautiful.
That's my salute to the early music of rock and roll.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's a pretty song, huh?
It's beautiful.
It's an attorney that wrote it, female attorney. She wrote the song and wanted somebody to sing it, so I'm the first one to release that.
Do you want to give her a shout out? Can you do that or not really?
I don't remember her name.
Oh, okay. No. I didn't know. Okay, that's fine. That's
But I do, it's been a while. We recorded that
okay.
3
That's
years ago.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you could say and what you couldn't.
No, it's on the record. I mean,
Okay.
her name is on the record, but she wrote it.
Okay,
You know,
good.
but it was beautiful.
Absolutely
And
beautiful.
but that voice came out. That's, to me, that's not my normal voice. But for whatever reason, that's what came out, and so we went with it. I felt like I summons Smokey Robinson in that
That's
song.
so cool.
I told Smokey when I met him, I said, I think I summons you in one of my songs.
That's so
He goes, well, that can't be a bad thing.
amazing. So, you know, I'm going to just say this because I can. It's my show. My bucket list, I think, is complete. I mean, think about, okay, so I've been really honored. God's been great with all the incredible legends that I've gotten to interview, and I've gotten to meet a lot of them as well. You know, Elvis passed away before I got to go to his concert. I have the ticket in my Elvis room. But I did get to interview his nurse, Marion. She's 95 now, good friend of mine, a beautiful woman.
Oh, wow.
I got a hello from Priscilla. I was supposed to meet her last year. So I was interviewed by George Klein at Graceland. So, and he's gone now, rest in peace, you know. And I got to interview Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. And I thought I was going to stay away from him because I didn't know the truth, but there's enough proof out there, guys. So I got to interview him, and he's going to honor me with another one through Hamilton Radio so we could be on screen together. He lives in Ohio. But today, I want to share with everyone this guy right here, okay? My bucket list is complete, okay? First of all, I want to give you the biggest thank you for doing this for me. You know, we talked about this happening, and you made it happen. And I know your schedule is crazy, and, you know, I just love you so much. Even as a friend, as a person, you already know that, how we feel about each other with that. But to be here live in studio with me, I've interviewed you on all my networks,
Right.
but this, you made my day. And Cindy's over there nodding in agreement that you did for her as well.
I'm
So
glad.
my
Thank you.
bucket list is complete. And I love you, and I thank you so much. And you made Hamilton Radio's day. I got to tell you that.
That's awesome.
So
Well, thank you for having me on, and it's my pleasure to be here and to spread the word, spread the music, and keep the music going. You know, like I said, that's one of my, my flag bearing. I feel like it's almost a duty. If I'm going to go and perform any music in and around the country, if I can come on and talk about Jackie and talk about his music, I'm going to do that, you know. So I appreciate you having me. Yeah.
this is incredible. You know, your dad, you know, I always say this on all my shows with music. I was born too late. Okay, I always say that. And I giggle and laugh and say, because I was born in 61, and I always say I would have been the hippie with the long ponytail, with the poodle skirt, the blue suede shoes, baby, and the black leather jacket. That would have been me. You know, to love this music so much.
Right.
And I turned my parents on to oldies. They used to listen to Frank Sinatra, and, you know, and I understand that, and it was great music, but so it's in us. And
Yeah,
I don't even know how that happened, but it is.
Yeah. And I think it's coming back thanks
It
to
is.
Bruno Mars.
It's coming back.
And because Bruno's mixing old school with the new school. And I don't know if the kids are catching it, but I'm catching it. You know, I said he knows exactly what he's doing. He's really bringing the old school and the new school together. And I think that's great because when you hear his latest, like "Leave the Door Open," that's a Motown throwback, if any song has ever been. I mean, from the first keys, bum 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 bum, that is just Motown at its top. And then for it to be brand new, and he and Anderson .Paak to add their own spin to it, I think it's fantastic. I think the kid's doing a good job. If you ever get a chance to hear this, I hope Bruno knows I'm very proud of him, even though he don't need me to say I'm proud of him, because he's doing a great job.
Everyone loves hearing that, no matter who
Yeah,
they
man,
are.
he does. He's killing it, and I love him because I remember him as a kid. Now he as a man doing his thing. He's doing what he always wanted to do, and I can't wait to hear what else they put out. So congratulate him. But I think the old school people are now wanting to hear singers. They want to hear songs. They just don't want to hear, a good rap. And even Snoop Dogg, I quote Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg said, Snoop says, I don't understand what the rappers are singing because they what's the word he said? Gibberish. They're doing gibberish. They're not using lyrics. And I was surprised
At Snoop,
to hear Snoop Dogg say that.
I want to share something with you.
But women, let me say,
Okay.
those guys, when they rap, they had stuff to talk about.
Okay.
They had lyrics and words, and they were very poetic and very what's the word? Very intelligent how they made it come together.
It
So-
was different.
Yeah. Now for them to say it's gibberish, it just blew me away.
It was different.
Mm-hmm.
And Snoop Dogg, I mean, come on, right? Even I loved him. I mean, think about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to share something with you and with everyone. And I've said this before on some of my shows. So when I first started in 2016 with Hamilton Radio, I got a message on Facebook from a young black male from Trenton. And he was a hip-hop artist, rapper. And he said, Miss Geri, do you think you could please interview me? I'm just trying to get my stuff out, And I said, could you keep it clean? And he said, I promise you I will keep it clean. And I said, then yes. So we did a show live in studio. We were in the old studio, and a few of his friends came, and it was really, really awesome. And he's still in my life. This kid stole a piece of my heart. He's now down south. He has a family, and he's doing wonderful. And this is what you can look him up on Facebook as Director 6 or 6 Director. Okay? And I'm sharing something because of this. I asked him live on camera, what the heck is this about? I don't listen to it. I can't listen to it. It's offensive. Why does it have to be so offensive? Why does it have to have cursing in it? Why does it have to be like this? I stopped judging it after what he said. I don't listen to it, but I stopped judging it. And he said, Miss Geri, every one of us has a story that needs to be told. And unfortunately for some of us, this is the only story we know.
It's not. Yeah. Sometimes it's not clean.
And he owned my heart from that moment on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's right. Sometimes it's not
know?
clean.
Randy Shank.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not a clean
So
story.
I can't
yeah.
listen to that.
I get
but
it.
At least now I
I
don't
get it.
judge them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
So, again, I want to say thank you. Guys, I want to say thank you to all the listeners. Please, please go into the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel and subscribe to it, please. And share the heck out of this show today.
Fun show.
Okay? Share the heck out of it. Okay? So another shout out to Strand Theater. Another shout out to Hamilton
We'll be there.
Radio. And everyone, another shout out to this guy right here, Bobby Wilson, the son of the late, great Jackie Wilson.
Thank you for having me.
I love
Appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you, baby.
Love you too.
Okay, Ruben, take us out. Yes. Yes. Take us out with this. Yes.
My heart is crying, crying, lonely teardrops. My pillow never dry up from lonely teardrops. Come home, come home. Just say you will, say you will. Crying, crying pile, lonely teardrops. My pillow never dry up from those lonely teardrops. Come home, come home. Just say you will, say you will. Just give me another chance for our romance. Come on and tell me one day you'll return. 'Cause not every day that you've been gone away, you know my heart does nothing but burn, crying lonely teardrops. My pillow never dry up from lonely teardrops. Come home, come home. Just say you will, say you will. Say you will. Bring it back now, baby. Come on, come on. Bring it on back, pretty baby. Come on, come on. Sing it right now, baby. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, my baby. Bring it on back, pretty mama. I need you back home with me. Bring it on back, pretty baby. Bring it on back, pretty mama. I need you back home, baby.
To do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true,
Is really true. Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.